They say the truth doesn't just hit you. It dismantles you. You spend decades building a cathedral of domesticity, only to realize the foundation was made of sand, and the person holding the shovel was the one you shared a bed with for 24 years. My name is Franklin Delroy. I'm 59 years old. For the last 27 years, I've served as a senior network infrastructure manager for a major regional telecommunications carrier based out of Duluth, Minnesota. I don't deal with people. I deal with flow. I manage the invisible architecture of data fiber optics, nodes, routing protocols that pulses beneath the surface of the Midwest. My job is to ensure that when you send an email or make a call, it arrives exactly where it's supposed to, without a single packet dropped. I like things that are measurable, predictable, and logical. My wife, Renata, always said I was the most boring, exciting person she'd ever met. She meant it as a compliment. I chose to take it as one too. Before I go any further, tell me where you're watching this from. I genuinely want to know. There's something about the anonymity of the internet that makes these confessions feel less like a burden and more like a necessary calibration of the system. We had been married for 24 years. We lived in a solid craftsman-style house on the shores of Lake Superior, where the water is a moody, restless gray, and the winters have teeth. I grilled on the weekends. I drove a sensible, safe sedan. We had standing Sunday dinners with our son, Marcus, and his girlfriend, the kind of predictable, reliable tradition that anchors a life. Life wasn't glamorous. It was quiet. It was ours. And for a long time, I thought that was the highest form of currency a man could possess. Renata was the opposite of me. She was warm, vibrant, and possessed that magical social efficiency that allowed her to walk into a room of strangers and walk out with 3 new best friends. She was the sunlight in our home. When her mother, Gloria, began having health problems 2 years ago, Renata took the role of caregiver with a devotion that was nothing short of heroic. I admired it. I never once questioned the Friday night visits. When the roads were icy, I drove her. In February, when the Minnesota drifts were 6 feet high, I sent Gloria soup and comfort food because Renata said she couldn't make it to the assisted living facility. Gloria sent back a thank you card in an envelope addressed in the most astonishing, elegant handwriting I'd ever seen. A 91-year-old woman with the penmanship of a queen. I kept that card on the fridge for months. It was a badge of our family's honor. But looking back, the data was there. I just wasn't running the diagnostics. Renata started keeping her phone face down on the granite kitchen island. She'd always left its screen up before, a habit of casual transparency. She started showering the second she walked through the door on Fridays, a new ritual of purification. And the visits grew longer. Each time there was a perfectly plausible, heartbreaking explanation. Gloria had a bad day. Gloria was confused. Gloria needed someone to just sit with her in the dark. I believed every single word. I run diagnostic checks on network towers to prevent total system failure. Yet I didn't run a single check on the one system that actually mattered. I have spent a lot of time in the months since then thinking about that specific failure. Why do we ignore the flickering light in our own hallways when we're so good at spotting it in others? Then came the Friday in June. It was 7:42 p.m. My phone buzzed on the kitchen table. It was Gloria. I answered, expecting to hear that Renata was still there. Franklin. Gloria's voice was thin, careful, and filled with a confusing tremor. Is Renata with you? I frowned, looking at the empty chair where she usually sat. She left a while ago, Gloria. She's probably stuck in traffic on the way back from your place. There was a pause, a long agonizing second where the air in my kitchen seemed to thin out. Yes, of course, Gloria said, her voice dropping into that polite, performative tone of someone who has suddenly realized they've spoken out of turn. Of course. She's probably just delayed. Don't mind me. I hung up. I stood in my kitchen and watched the microwave clock. 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I didn't pace. I didn't shout. I didn't call her. I was processing data, and the data was showing a massive catastrophic system error. I went to the garage. On the second shelf of my workbench, I kept a small magnetic GPS tracker, the kind the fleet crews use to monitor company vans. I'd owned it for 3 years. I drove to the assisted living center where Gloria lived. I circled the lot. Her car wasn't there. I went home, installed the tracker under the rear bumper, and went inside. I watched the news. I went to bed at 10:30 p.m. just like a man whose world wasn't currently being incinerated. The next morning I called Terrence. He's been my best friend since we worked on a construction site in northern Minnesota in the winter of '99. He's the kind of guy who answers the phone like he's been waiting for your specific voice his entire life. "Terrence," I said, "I need to talk." "Are you sick?" he asked. "No." "Is Ranata sick?" "I honestly don't know what Ranata is right now." I drove to his place. I laid it all out. The call, the tracker, the months of Fridays. When I finished, Terrence just stared at his coffee cup. He's a man of loud opinions, but he was dead silent then. "Franklin," he said finally, "you're the most meticulous man I know, but you need more than a gut feeling. You need the cold, hard numbers. Do not tip your hand until you have the full file." He was right. I checked the GPS log from the Friday prior. The car had been at an address on Mackenzie Street, a residential area nowhere near glorious. It had been there from 6:15 p.m. until 11:20 p.m. The following Friday, she kissed me and said she was going to check on her mother. I told her to drive safe. She left at 5:50 p.m. By 6:12 p.m., the tracker showed her at that exact address on Mackenzie Street. I checked at 9 p.m. Still there. I checked at 11 p.m. She left at 10:47 p.m. 2 Fridays. Same location. Same pattern. 9 months of the same mother's care narrative, and I had the proof. On Monday morning, I was in the office of Diane Okafor, a divorce attorney known for being relentlessly organized. My favorite kind of human. I didn't give her a sob story. I gave her a data report. GPS logs, date stamp screenshots, phone records from our shared family plan showing hours of calls to a number that didn't belong to a dental office or a hospital. Diane looked at the files. She didn't offer me a tissue. She didn't offer a platitude. She just said, "Mr. Delroy, this is the most thorough intake I've seen in a decade." I didn't smile. I just nodded. If you've made it this far, please hit the subscribe button. It's a small thing for you, but it keeps this channel running and ensures these stories reach the people who need to hear them. Thank you. Diane filed the divorce petition in late July. She included everything: the cover story, the GPS records, the timeline established by Gloria's frantic call. She instructed me to stay the course, to be the man I'd always been. On that Tuesday night, Ranata came home. She made pasta. She asked about my day, and I told her about a network outage near Grand Marais. I looked at her, at the woman who had been my wife for nearly a quarter of a century, and I realized she was just a stranger with a key to my house. The papers were served on Wednesday morning while I was at Terrence's, watching two squirrels argue over a bird feeder. Ranata called 40 minutes later. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. And again. I didn't listen to them. I called Diane instead. The proceedings took 4 months. Because I had the documentation, the undeniable linear history of her deception, the court didn't have to guess. They saw the pattern. The Ramsey Lake house, the pension I'd spent 27 years building, the investment accounts, it was all on the table. The judge weighed the conduct record heavily. Ranata received significantly less than she ever imagined she would. Marcus called the night the settlement was finalized. We talked for an hour about nothing. At the end he asked, "Dad, are you okay?" "I think I'm getting there," I said. "Come for dinner on Sunday," he said. "And please, for the love of God, don't bring that cheap wine you always insist on." I laughed. It was the first time I'd laughed in 6 months. Terrence came over that Saturday. He brought a rotisserie chicken and 2 types of potato salad, because he's a man who understands that balance is a myth. We sat at the kitchen table, watching the lake turn that deep, bruising blue that happens in late September. "So what now?" Terrence asked. I looked out the window at the back porch. The wood was gray, peeling, and tired. "I'm going to repaint the porch." Terrence squinted at it. "That's all." "It needs it, Terrence. I've been putting it off for 2 years." "What color?" "Gray," I said. He sighed. "Franklin, every single choice you have made in your life, from your car to your clothes to your furniture, has been gray. Don't you want to change?" "It's a good color," I said. "It's reliable." We sat there until the light died. I thought about Gloria. I sent her flowers the following Monday with a simple card. I hope you are feeling well. She sent a note back. That same astonishing, beautiful handwriting. Asterisk, thank you, Franklin. You have always been a good man. Asterisk, I have that note on my desk now. It's not a memento of the marriage. It's a memento of the truth. Sometimes I look at it and realize that for 24 years, I was the most boring, exciting person I knew. I had a life that looked like a gray porch and I thought that was enough. But I'm not gray anymore. I'm just here. And for the first time in my life, I'm not managing anyone else's infrastructure. I'm just living in my own. If you're listening to this and you're wondering if you should check the data, if you're wondering if the story you're being told holds up under scrutiny, don't wait for the pastor or the mother to call. Trust the system. Trust your gut. And if the diagnostics come back and show a failure, don't be afraid to pull the plug. I'm repainting the porch tomorrow. It's going to be gray. And it's going to be beautiful.